Hey y'all, it is me. Welcome back to the Popcorn vlog. If you are new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you are returning, please just don't ask me where I've been, okay? We're gonna start this video of an update of my life, and we're just gonna slowly get to where we need to get to, and that's just gonna be that, okay? Because I'm in a good mood to do content today. So let's jump into this video. And again, if you are new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So it's been roughly over a year probably since I have uploaded a video. Maybe, I don't remember. Last time y'all heard from me, I was moving to New York. Yes, last time y'all heard from me, I was moving to New York. Did I move to New York? Absolutely, I did move to New York. Did I love New York? Absolutely, I did love New York. I loved everything about New York. So we're gonna start off by like letting y'all know like what happened in New York and the reason why I don't live there no more, okay? Number one, when no one tells you this, when you move to New York, it is completely different from the South. If you know me, you know I am a Southern belle. I do things a Southern way, and that's just that on that, okay? So I moved to New York, and in my head, in the back of my head, I was dating somebody, and I just knew once I moved up there, we were gonna be together, we were gonna be married, we were gonna have a happy family, and delusion set in. Let me say some ladies, stop being delusional. If that man don't want you, that man don't want you. And that's just me being honest, y'all. That man don't want you, Bookie. He don't want you. So yeah, whatever. So that situation happened. So I found a place to stay at when I was living in New York, and it was like I had multiple roommates. And me personally, I feel like I'm just not a roommate type of chick anymore. Like having a roommate is just like, it's not my thing. So I had to have some roommates. I was not fond of it. I definitely did stay in Queens. I loved Queens. You know, like the men up there. I joke. But yeah, I stayed in Queens. I loved it. It was amazing there. I remember going to Brooklyn, and I realized I was like, maybe I want to stay in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is like nice, but Brooklyn had all the food that I was really wanting, you know. So I stayed in Queens, and it was cool. It was really cool. The area that I stayed in was very nice. Another con that I did not like in New York was the laundromat. I'm so used to having an amenity of an in-unit washer and dryer. That is very not common in New York, and a lot of people don't understand that. And then you know how like we have like free parking or street parking. They have street parking there, and I was just not a fan of that as well too. So that's that. I had to leave New York, and saying I had to leave New York, I was so sad. Like I loved New York. I thought it was that was like where I was supposed to be at. But I feel like I may go back there. But if I do go back there, I feel like honestly I have to live a certain way before I move back up there. I just cannot just live there, and like I really can't just live in New York and just live how I was living, if that makes sense. I don't want all them roommates. I don't. And then I had to do public transportation as well too. And I understand now why a lot of people who come down from New York and be like, I can't drive. I understand it now. Like you really don't need a car there unless like you really want to have a car, and like because there's nowhere to park on the street. You get so many tickets. Oh my God, y'all. No one talks about the cameras, the speed cameras that they have there. Jesus Christ, you get so many tickets, you get so much stuff. Look, let me just mind my business. But New York was amazing. I met some amazing people. I had some amazing friends there. It was something that I just see myself growing, and I definitely will go back. I know for a fact I will. Like I will probably have like a apartment up there, but I would go there in the summer. And the winter wasn't bad. Everybody was like trying to like tell me about the winter. The winter was not bad. The winter was not bad at all. It was cool though. It was really, really cool, and I loved it. So that's that. So after I left New York, I was in a fumble of what I was gonna do with my life, because I personally felt like at 29, I felt like I was supposed to have life figured out by now. did not. And they really tell you, like, and maybe it's just I didn't recall it, but you really don't start living your life until you like hit like 26 and up. For real, that's when life really hits you, because I was so used to certain things of calling my parents and asking them, and now it was really, everything was on me. It was time for me to really live my life, and I was like, how the hell am I gonna live my life? And I'm so used to calling my mom, calling my dad, like I'm so used to calling them. So I ended up really started to live my life and trying to figure out what I really wanted to do in career-wise, and I was in distraught for my birthday. The last time y'all saw me, like my birthday was coming up. My birthday was coming up, and I ended up getting actually sick on my birthday. Like I was physically sick on my birthday, and I was out of town on my birthday. And as you can probably see on my social media, I did go out of town for my birthday, but I was physically sick. I really did not know what I wanted to do anymore with my life. I was just really depressed, and that's the word that I can say. And then I had ended up getting approved for my second apartment, and I was like, I don't know if I want to stay in this area. Like I was just very contemplating. Like it was just, my emotions and my feelings were all over the place. And then I didn't have a partner, so because remember I told y'all, you know, early on in the video, yeah, I really didn't have nobody. I was just really trying to figure this shit out by myself, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I remember a conversation me and my mom had. Me and my mom were talking, and she was just like, you know, you have to do what's best for you. If a job makes you feel like that, you need to leave the job. And I was just like, you know what? She's so right. So I was contemplating about that. So then New Year's hit, and I ended up, y'all, I be moving like Mexican music. I started to date somebody, and y'all, it was not good. Let me explain something. When you are not healed, and if you go to somebody else that is not healed, there's nothing but destruction waiting to happen. So I started dating somebody else, and it was just not what I wanted. I ended that relationship so fast. When I say I ended it so fast, probably like maybe 2 months I ended the relationship, and I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with this. And I kind of had to really start to regain who I was and my worth and figure out, and I decided to backtrack. Don't ever backtrack. If somebody leaves you, leave them the hell alone. Don't spin the block. This ain't Ashanti, this ain't Nelly, this ain't about spinning the block. Don't spin the block. Don't spin, this ain't drill music, baby. There's no spinning over here. I would never spin the block ever again. Never. No, I would never spin that block again. So I ended up leaving that person alone, and I really kind of focused in on myself and figured out what I wanted to do career-wise. And I have figured out what I wanted to do career-wise, excuse me. And I know now, moving forward, a lot of my decisions I already know, but I always look for validation from other people. But now that I'm becoming an adult, like I'm really like a full adult now, I feel like, because it's like in your 20s you kind of know what you want. Like you think you know what you want, but you really don't know what you want. And my mom used to be like, you're so confused, you don't know what you want. And I'd be like, yes, I do know what I want. I know what I want. I know exactly what I want. I'm sitting here yelling at her like, and I know she's probably like, girl, calm down. Baby, I was overstimulated. And that's what I'm starting to realize. So now I am coming into terms of who I am as a woman, if that makes sense. Like, I know what I like. I know how I want to date. I know who I want to date. I know what I want to do. I know when I want to do it. I make my decisions now based upon how I feel, not based upon what everybody else is trying to tell me what to do. I'm doing everything that I want to do because guess what? It's my life. My life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. Yeah, so a lot of decisions now, I'm being very firm on them. I'm setting into place. I'm putting those roots in what I want to do with my life. Does that make sense? And it's been a lot of crying. It's been a lot of trials and tribulations. It's been a lot of sacrifices that I had to do in order to get to where I'm at right now, because I was not making content. I stopped slowing down making content, and it's like, man, I love making content. I genuinely was loving making content, showing y'all stuff, showing you how to do stuff, you know, learning as I go, meeting people and stuff like that. But now I feel like the new era of my content that I want to create, it's just going to be all about just thriving and going through the motions. And remember, everything was about LAC, life after college. Now this is like really like living real life. not LAC. College is gone, baby. We are in our grown woman era. That sounds so good to say. I swear that sounds so good to say. I'm just coming into terms with who I am, and I love making content. So the content that I'm going to be putting out now is more of it's for people who are really trying to find themselves. And I feel like I didn't know who I was, and I feel like a lot of this, like, it's just when you don't know who you are, you're not sure who you are, and you're very complacent. And for somebody who is very creative, me, I think I'm extremely creative. When I'm in something that keeps me in a box, I tend to act out. I tend to just be overstimulated, cry, emotions and stuff like that. And I didn't want to do that no more for myself. I feel like I deserve better, y'all. I even stopped getting my hair done. And if you know me, you know one thing about me. I'm gonna keep that hair done. Y'all, I stopped getting my hair done. I stopped getting my hair done. Now, like, everything is completely different. So it's like, I like who I'm becoming. I like where I'm displaying. I like it. I really do like who I am. And I feel like I'm kind of putting them roots in to who I am. You know, like, planting those roots down in the ground and who I am and what I'm going to stand for and what I'm not going to accept. Because I feel like a lot of times I used to accept things for what they were and people for who they are. And I feel like, oh, I can never find better. I can never get better. But that's when society wants you to become complacent with the situation that you're in. And I don't want to be that. I know what I want to do, and content is one of the things that I love to do. I love making content. I was making content, and I tell everybody this, I was making content before everybody was a content creator. I was more of an influencer, like I like to say. Clock that. Even though I don't have a big platform, excuse me, I still feel like people who watch me and people who support me, y'all are people who really I kick it with. Like, I genuinely do care about y'all. I do. And if you are sitting here listening to me talk, I hope you are very proud of me, because guess what, girl? I'm proud of myself. Because, girl, I had to drag my ass up out of that depression. Because if you have seen, I have been trying to make content, but I ain't had time to make content, but I made the content. We have made it here. Y'all, we are here. We have a new YouTube video. That's all that matters. A breath of fresh air. So, y'all, we are at a stage in life where we are growing. I know I was just rambling, but it's not just me rambling. It's just really, I'm very proud, and I'm up here right now with how I feel, with my feelings and everything like that. And I just hope my video gets to somebody that really is going through it. Guess what, girl? Guess what? The storm does not last forever. It does not rain forever. It does not. That sunshine comes out. I always have to remind myself of that, because you will sink into a depression and you will forget who has your back and who's always on your side. And I always tell people, God is on your side. As long as you have a relationship with him, everything gonna work out, baby. Keep your relationship with God. And I don't know if everybody is religious, you know, you pray to who you pray to, but that's who I pray to. And I just love that about myself, you know. This video was all over the place. Y'all gonna have me crying. Let me stop being dramatic, y'all. But I'm just here, and I'm happy. I'm happy. No, I ain't got no kids. No, I don't have any kids. But in the next year or two, I pray that everything I have asked and prayed for, that I received, that God feels is if I'm deserving of it, you know? Yeah. I'm just so happy. Love on yourself, for real, y'all. Love on yourself. But this video is about growth. This video was a life update. I hope y'all could hear. I no longer live in New York. I have moved on from that chapter in my life. I've closed it. The dating scene, I have, baby, I don't know what's going on out here, baby. I don't know. Date them for fun or date them for fun. I joke. But you know, dating scene, it is what it is. I'm doing a lot of different things creatively, and I am working on myself overall. And this was just a yapper video. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all come back and see some more stuff, because we got a lot in stores for y'all. Until then, thank y'all for being patient with me. Thank you all for loving me, and thank you all for supporting me. And we will see you all in the next video. Make sure you subscribe. Clock that. What Beyonce say? Hold on.